Welcome into To Your Health. And we are happy to have with us Dr. Heather Echols, and she is a gastroenterologist. March is a month where we all need to be aware of colorectal screening because that is a cancer awareness situation that prevention can keep you from dying. So this is serious stuff. And Dr. Echols, thank you so much for taking the time out to come in and be with us today. And I'm going to let you share with our audience, what are we talking about when we talk about colorectal cancer awareness?
So thank you so much for having me here
today.
You're
so welcome.
So when we talk about colorectal cancer screening, we're really talking about the prevention and development of colon cancers. So that usually consists of there are different modalities for screening patients depending on your regular comorbidities or health issues. One type of screening may be used over another. So usually the most common one that people know about is colonoscopy.
Yes.
And that one, to me, I think is far superior to the other ones, because if we see something such as a polyp that could develop into a cancer, we're able to remove it. But there are other modalities such as stool studies that we can check for, but if those come back as positive, then you still have to go for the colonoscopy. Yes. And then some of the more popular ones, I think that people may have seen different commercials about, the Cologuard.
Right.
And then there's also a imaging modality like a virtual colonoscopy. But with the Cologuard, that's only for a very specific group of patients who have little or no history of colon cancer in their families.
Lower risk factor.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
So those patients, they'll have to be screened by their primary before getting that study. But as I've said with the other tests, if it comes back positive, you go for the colonoscopy.
Is there a certain age at which, just regardless of what your background is, because we have friends who, the picture of health, no family history of anything, and you just don't know when it might be you. So there has to be a point at which there is a baseline and you just need to go for a colonoscopy.
Yes, so the threshold is really by age 50, or at age 50, the general population should go in for their screening colonoscopy.
And then it'll establish a base.
Exactly.
Right.
So if you go in and you have a screening colonoscopy and we don't find anything, then you come back in 10 years. But if we find polyps, that will change your follow-up. Now, if you have a family history of colon cancer, then if someone, so like in colon cancer in your father, your mother, your brother, sister, those patients need to come in earlier, around age 40.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, if someone was diagnosed at a much, much younger age, like 35, then that does also change your follow-up. But, it's really important that people, continue to talk with their primaries, see when it's necessary for them to go for their colon cancer screening. And then you have special populations. So for some reason, African Americans tend to have higher rates of colon cancer, even if they get screening started at age 50. So the gastroenterology societies have recommended that they start at age 45. However, different insurance policies do not follow that recommendation.
And so our viewers know also, you don't just call your practice and say, I need a colonoscopy. You start with your primary care doctor, who then recommends and he sets up for you to have a colonoscopy.
That is correct.
Right.
That is correct. And because there are different issues or factors that may affect your coming to us.
Yes.
So there are a lot of people who are on blood thinners and things like that. So those need to be managed and addressed prior to you showing up for your colonoscopy.
And the primary care is your gatekeeper. So normally what happens once you've had the colonoscopy, then all the results go back to him, where he can keep the record of everything that's happening.
That is correct. And once we do a colonoscopy, we do make general recommendations like this person should come back in 5 years. So we send that recommendation back to your primary care provider. So then they're aware that, in 5 years, I need to send them back for a colonoscopy.
That's good. I'm on the 5-year plan right
now. Are you?
which is great.
Well, so when you finish with a colonoscopy, do you know right then if you've had polyps or if y'all have removed them? Do you let your patients know right then?
Yes, yes. So usually right after the procedure, we will inform you of how many polyps you've had, and just based on what we see, the size of the polyps, we'll make a general recommendation. However, that can change once the pathologist takes a look at those polyps specifically. So sometimes, you know, if it's a type of polyp that has little potential to develop into cancer, sometimes we'll put you out to 10 years. But if it's a precancerous type polyp, then you know, we'll move you to 5 years, 3 years, depending on the size.
Now, what group are you with and where are you located?
I'm with Capital City Gastroenterology, and we're located off of Carmichael Road.
Okay.
You're Dr. White?
Yes, I'm with Dr. White,
with
Dr.
White.
Anderson, and Dr. Nina Garrett.
And
Yes,
Dr.
I am.
Nina Garrett, who happens to be
Those are my guys.
Well, these two ladies are absolutely
Great.
angels. These two doctors they're angels on this earth. And I would like to share this as I am your patient, in full disclosure. And I dreaded colonoscopies. Folks, it's really not bad. They've come a long way. It's much easier than it used to be. And when you're finished, you're up and good and ready to go, though. You have to have someone, be sure, to take you and to drive you you home.
Well, thank you so much for what you do, and just remember this, it's a simple procedure, but make sure you get it done, and we'll be right back right after this.